Coming to the DigitalOcean pricing plans and services. So DigitalOcean is a cloud computing platform, and it provides many services for business of all sizes. And in this presentation, we'll talk about the different data centers present in the DigitalOcean, and different types of encryption methods, that is SSH and password. And also we'll talk about the stress and stop. We'll look into the PPT. So the first is virtual private cloud. So in distillation, you have a chance to create your own virtual private cloud with many privileges. So these are the three main properties or main benefits you can get by using virtual private cloud. Those are private networking, subnets and routing, and network access control. So in private network, by the private networking, what you can get is that you can create your own isolated networks with DigitalOcean, and you can also enhance the security and control network traffic, because if you are going to use a public cloud, then many people will be sharing the same cloud. So you might your website or your server might get so much traffic, and it might be very slow. So if you prefer VPC, you don't face that issue. And the next thing is subnets and routing. You can organize your resources as you wish. So generally, the cloud or the virtualized OSS will do the work, but in the virtual private cloud, it's your wish to organize the resources, and you can uh, you can create different subnets in your own virtual private cloud that comes under subnets and routing and network access control. So you can tune the network for many instances in your virtual private cloud, and you can also see the security of different applications which are running under your virtual private cloud. So virtual private cloud generally has the benefits of this security and even the privacy which you can't get in public clouds. So in virtual private cloud, you have these benefits, and these has some charges in DigitalOcean, but the charges are comparatively low when compared with Amazon, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. So coming to monitoring, so monitoring is an important point in every cloud provider. So what monitoring does is that it will give the statistics of your instance or your droplet in the case of DigitalOcean. What and all it shows is that it shows resource usage, performance metrics, alerts, and notifications. So coming to resource usage, in resource usage, there are many options. That is, you can monitor the CPU memory, you can see the disk space, and you can also see how much network you are using. And it will also give you the chance, or you can analyze by seeing that resource usage. You can analyze the potential bottlenecks or potential troubleshooters. The one I mean so whenever there is any problem, you can just see the resource usage, and you can get the problem. What is the problem? You can use resource user for that, and you can also get performance metrics. Though in the performance metrics, what it will give is it will tell about the response time, error rates, throughputs, and it will optimize your instance or your droplet to the peak performance. And there is alerts and notifications. So what it does is it will set up alerts and notifications. Suppose, for example, your droplet is utilizing 70% of the CPU for more than 2 hours. So there would be an error if the droplet is using that much CPU for that much time. So definitely you need to know your droplet or your website is not working well due to some error or the fault. So for that, what you can do in the DigitalOcean is that you can set an alert. Previously, while creating the droplet, you have to set an alert if my CPU consumption is above certain level, and it's running for the same CPU level for this many hours. If you keep an email ID, so the DigitalOcean will see through that, and it will then send you an email saying that your instance is running, your instance is using this much CPU space for this many hours. You have to check about that. Then you can just see through the error by getting that alert and notification. This was one of the most useful feature of the DigitalOcean. So before causing any difficult or major errors, you can you can predefinedly put an alert, and then you can resolve that error beforehand, before causing an disastrous problem. So yeah, coming to alert system. So there is a threshold configuration. There are different thresholds, that is CPU usage, memory usage, and disk space. You can put limit on any of these thresholds, and there is trigger conditions. That is so there are different types of trigger conditions. That is you can define below or above thresholds, and you can give some conditions about the disk space. I can also choose cumulative thresholds, like you can choose both CPU usage and disk space as the threshold. So you just have to read the condition for that. And then notification channels, like in this solution there is a thing called Slack, which will send you emails if you have any errors, or if you're getting any alert, you can get through email, SMS, or webhooks. So these can also be integrated by third party tools, which can give you an mail. So pricing tiers. These are the basic tiers present in pricing tiers present in DigitalOcean. Those are basic, professional, and enterprise. So generally, everyone chooses basic, who for beginners and all. And small businesses use this basic model, which is $5 per month. We will look into this very clearly in the next video. So generally, this will get less amount of CPU, less RAM, and there'll be people will be using a shared CPU. And coming to the professional, the people who are working or researching, they can use this professional tier, and this is $15 per month. Uh, so it will contain some more advanced features. So coming to professional, it is $15 per month, and yeah, there are many advanced features for this. So there will be many features. That is, you can get more disk space, more RAM, and you can have a CPU for your own, not be shared with anyone else. So coming to enterprise, enterprise means suppose if there is an organization, so it will directly contact the DigitalOcean that it requires for this many people. We need an cloud network, so it will so the pricing plans for that will be discussed between the organization and DigitalOcean people. So for the many premium services, so we can discuss with them what are services we want, and the cost will be depends on the services. Coming to resource allocation, so these are all the allocations which we can do in the DigitalOcean. That is CPU allocation. It is the number of amount of cores we want for our applications. So if you have a very high running web app or in server, you can choose many number of cores. So it depends on the workload actually. And coming to memory allocation, and so if your process is very intensively running, then you need to choose a high RAM. You need to choose high RAM. And then coming to storage, if you are working with big data or something like that, you can choose a good amount of disk space, that is near 1 TB or more than that. So you can choose a storage allocation. There are SGD, HDD, and you can choose the based on the performance requirements. And coming to bandwidth limits, so these are the different types of bandwidth limits present. Data transfer limits. So uh, DigitalOcean generally provides you monthly data transfer limits. That is, so what happens is that whenever you launch a website or host a server, that server needs to communicate with the customer. At the time, what it does is it will communicate by sending some data to the customer or to the person. So that is the data which is called data transfer. So there will be a fixed amount of data transfer limit if you take a monthly plan. So if you are if your website or server is being used all over the world and it's being it is being used by many people, then you need to choose a plan which have more like higher data transfer. Generally each data plan has some data transfer free, and additional data transfer will have additional charges. And coming to network bandwidth, so DigitalOcean will also offer different network bandwidth options. So accordingly, if your website is a global one, you need to choose a higher bandwidth. Otherwise, if it's a local one, you can choose a lower bandwidth plan. So coming to traffic management, this is also the case. This is also the option which we need to look into in case your website or a server is being deployed in DigitalOcean and it needs continuous support, and it needs a continuous management of traffic. So DigitalOcean has many features in managing traffic. So for that, there will be different costs. If you want a good traffic management, that is network optimization and load balancing, this DigitalOcean has the plans. So you can choose a plan which contains higher traffic management ability and backup options. So there are three backup options in DigitalOcean, that is cloud backups. So we can back up the complete cloud or droplet for once. And also we can there is an option called snapshots in DigitalOcean, that is we can create a snapshot of the droplet. That is suppose think you are modifying your droplet. If you're going to modify your droplet, then suppose in case you need a previous droplet, then what you can do is you can refer to the snapshot you have taken before. So snapshots are useful for this kind of things. And database backups. So generally you will be running a database in the webs in the cloud for the redundancy or for the protection, for the safety of data. You can back up the database regularly. Uh, so there are options like automatic backups or manual backups. So if you give a certain specific time, it will automatically back up the database and even complete droplet. You can take screenshots of the droplet uh, in the time. Yeah. And scaling capabilities. So there are two things called vertical scaling and horizontal scaling. So in vertical scaling, what we can do is that we can add many resources. So vertical scaling deals with handling the single droplet very well. That is, you can increase the resources for the single droplet so that its performance will be very much improved. And coming to horizontal scaling, what we can do is that we can divide a process, or we can add many number of droplets, which can handle the increased traffic and workload. So what happens is that the complete traffic will be divided into many droplets, so they can handle the high traffic very easily. And customer support, so DigitalOcean has a very good customer support. There are documentation, there are frequently asked questions in the website. So if any problem you face, you can just go to the documentation and you can see through that. And there are tutorials in the web, so you can also find very commonly asked questions in the website itself. And there is a huge community for DigitalOcean across the social media, and in even in GitHub or many apps. So there will be good community support for DigitalOcean, and it will also support tickets. That is, so if you support if you face any technical issue, you can just ask the DigitalOcean support team. They will rectify your problem, and they'll give good support to you. Thank you.